Hey, how's it going? This is JD. In the news today, boss of car making giant Stellantis abruptly quits. The boss of car making giant Stellantis, which owns brands including Vauxhall, Jeep, Fiat, and Peugeot, which this brand, obviously anyone watching this probably knows about it already, is even bigger than most people realize. The Stellantis group it's Arboth, Alfa Romeo, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, Jeep, Lancia, Maserati, Ram Trucks, and then PSA, which is the owners of Peugeot and Citroën, but they also own DX, Opel, and Vauxhall. And in 2016, someone had the bright idea of spun off Ferrari. That's a story for another time, in my opinion on that. But the boss of the car making giant Stellantis, Carlos Traveler's abrupt exit comes 2 months after Stellantis issues a profit warning. Last week, the firm announced plans to close Vauxhall van making factory in Luton, putting about 1,100 jobs at risk. Yeah, when that's gone, that's a lot of people. That's probably that's probably Luton, destroyed maybe even if it happens. In a statement announcing Mr. Traveler's departure, Henry de Castrius, in recent weeks, different views have emerged, which resulted in the board and the CEO coming to today's decision. Before his resignation, Mr. Travelers was one of the most powerful people in global motor industry. He had a reputation as a ruthless cost cutter, first at the French group PSA, then following its merger with Fiat Chrysler in 2021 as Stellantis. He frequently made headlines in the UK by casting doubt over the future of Vauxhall's operation in the UK, linking it to issues such as Brexit and government plans to force car makers to build more electric cars. Here's the problem with the electric cars. In the UK, they have a problem with their power grid, a big problem. They had power outages across the UK, averaging anywhere from 30% of their power companies in different areas. In three different areas, 30% of the people were lost power. In two other areas up north, 50% of the people lost power in the year over and over and over again. Now, I have on good source someone at Range Rover. They build the they design sorry not build they design the platforms for the Range Rover, and which one this person designs I can't tell you, but he designed a new platform for the gasoline engine, not a hybrid, not an electric skateboard platform. He designed a new platform going into production, and not for the 2025 model year, not for the 2026 or 27. The next model year update after this one, he designed that platform. So that lets you know that the government's already pulling back their plans for this heavy electrification. But it's interesting that you're telling me they didn't tell a large manufacturer such as Stellantis this information. I think there's something at play there because they own Jeep, and Jeep has the Grand Wagoneer, which is like $120,000 Jeep. Who in the US is going to buy $120,000 Jeep when you can go buy a Range Rover for about 114? Obviously, that's before you start adding options, and then the $120,000 Jeep is fully loaded. But most people will spend the $120,000 with a Range Rover. Go to Land Rover, Range Rover, and go buy a Range Rover. It's not clear whether his departure will affect the planned closures of Stellantis' Luton plant. Mr. Traveler's position had been undermined recently by a dramatic fall in sales and profit at their company. Stellantis shares price has fallen by 40% since the start of this year. Yeah, I wonder why. Because dealers were putting major markups. All dealers. It's not just the Stellantis group. Every single dealer, because they didn't have cars on a lot, were putting major markups, and then no one was buying. And now the dealerships are hurting from that. In September, the company said it had started to look for Mr. Traveler's successor, but he was expected to stay in his role until 2026. Yeah, it sounds like someone wants to jump ship. Stellantis said it is now expected to appoint a new chief executive by the middle of next year. In the meantime, it will set up a new intermediate chief executive committee led by the firm's chairperson, John Ekelin. I probably mispronounced his name. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And if you made it here this far in the video, I have a link to my GoFundMe to help me get a new computer. I don't have a capture card, and the computer I'm working with gets slowed down if I open too many tabs. That's why I don't have another tab open right now. I'll go and see if I can find the other piece of information. But yeah, there's a link to a GoFundMe. Oh, and I try to look for a V8 Dodge starting base price pickup truck over $45,000 before you can get a V8.